Once upon a time, in a vast savanna, there lived a thriving pride of lions and a bustling hive of bees. For many years, the two species coexisted peacefully, each respecting the other's territory. But one day, a young lioness named Nadira, curious and adventurous, strayed too close to the beehive. The bees, sensing a threat, swarmed around Nadira, stinging her repeatedly. Nadira roared in pain and fury, but the bees refused to relent. Finally, she was forced to retreat, her body swollen and covered in stings. Nadira's father, the mighty lion king Leo, was enraged when he heard of the attack. He vowed to avenge his daughter and punish the bees. He gathered his pride and led them to the beehive, determined to destroy it. The bees were prepared for the attack. They had been storing venom for weeks, anticipating a conflict with the lions. When the lions charged, the bees erupted from the hive, a dense cloud of buzzing fury. The lions roared and slashed, but they were no match for the bees' relentless assault. They were stung repeatedly, their eyes and noses swelling, their breathing becoming labored. One by one, the lions fell to the ground, defeated. Leo, the last lion standing, was surrounded by bees. He fought bravely, but he was no match for their overwhelming numbers. Finally, he collapsed to the ground, covered in stings. The bees had won the battle. They had defended their hive and their queen, and they had taught the lions a valuable lesson, never to underestimate the power of a swarm of bees. But the war was not over. Leo and the pride were determined to avenge their defeat. They gathered their strength and planned their next attack. This time, the lions were more cautious. They waited until the bees were foraging for food, leaving the hive vulnerable. Then, they attacked, using their speed and power to overwhelm the bees before they could swarm. The bees fought back bravely, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Many bees were killed, and the rest were forced to retreat to the hive. The lions had won the battle, but they knew that the war was far from over. The bees were a resilient and resourceful species. They would rebuild their hive and prepare for the next attack. And so, the war between the bees and the lions raged on, neither side able to gain a decisive victory. But one thing was certain: both sides had learned to respect the other's power and ferocity.